respond
Okay.
to your, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. We have a number of things to cover. The naming of the reunion. Want to get into pricing and some details there, and try to hone the registration form. So I think we'll tackle the big issue first, and that's the naming of the reunion. We had discussed it last time, and Carol and I have Martinetti and I have traded emails, and we decided to have we would vote on it in this meeting. So we'll follow, at least nominally, Robert's Rules of Order, make a motion. Somebody can second it. We'll have 10 minutes for discussion, limiting it to two minutes per person, because we want to be efficient. And then we'll vote on it with those who are present or have indicated beforehand. We have 3 who have indicated their position beforehand. So I'll kick things off, and I move that we name the reunion the Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026. Is there any second? Anybody second that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay. So let's, we've got about 10 minutes. It's 20 after the hour on my clock, and we'll go to the bottom of the hour. And Carolyn, do you want to talk about it first? Talk about your thoughts on it, and then we'll open it up.
Sure. The reunion that is being held in 2026 is a 50-year celebration of the one held in 1976. Therefore, keeping the reunion name the same as was used back then honors the vision the people had for it as they were planning it. I attended that reunion as a teenager, and I remember it well. Though families have expanded in the past 50 years, I believe we have one thing in common. We are connected to the Bakken, Gilgee, Tosted homesteaders in some way. And correct me if that is incorrect. That is what unites all of us to a family reunion. By adding Rolette to the title, it excludes those homesteaders that did not settle in that area. There are a number of them. There's a paragraph on the website inviting friends in the Rolette vicinity, non-family members from the Rolette area, and the reunion is not limited to families with direct connections to selected ancestors. There are a number of individuals that have volunteered many hours of time to make this reunion happen. We can honor these contributions in a number of ways. We can put a poster board at the registration desk with this information on. We can put a paragraph in the program flyer. We can place a poster board in the area where the exhibits will be. And we can make a verbal announcement at the time the sculpture is placed. So those are my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. Unless anybody else wants to jump in, I'd like to.
I'm a little, Jeff, I'd like Paul here. I just wanted to clarify, is there an alternative proposal to Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026?
Well, let's go through this process, and then it's open. If this doesn't carry,
I sense, and Carolyn, forgive me if I say wrong, but I have sensed that you were hoping that we would name specific families in the reunion title, and that comes to the crux of the entire issue, in my opinion, because good attendance in 2026 is going to be critical, and we want to have everybody have a stake in what takes place there. And in my opinion, by zeroing in on any single family, we overlook the opportunity to keep the support broad. And let me give you an illustration of why I think it would be inappropriate. Everybody here knows, I think, that we've raised something like $20,000 already this year from 29 donors. of those 29 donors, that represents 21 different last names. That means that there's 21 different families that have a stake in this, and not just 3. And granted that there are connections, but those people, most people don't even know the connections because they're remotely removed. Further, in 1976, there were 273 persons in attendance. Of those 23, they represented more than 40 different last names. So we had a reunion 50 years ago with more than 40 different families' names. And so anybody who then sees that it says one of 3 different names and they don't see their name, we can't take the risk of their deciding not to attend because it doesn't sound like it's for me. So I strongly support Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026 because it is a free, open thing without limitation. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, one more thing, if I'm trying to make just one more point, or if not, you can shut me down.
Go
But
for it.
we're going to be opening up a time capsule. And what would happen if people who put stuff into the time capsule were not present at the at the reunion? Thank you.
Okay. For my part, I'd like to show a couple of things. I'm not a big Zoom user, so let me.
Jeffrey, as you're looking for that, this is Mike Beaver. I agree 100% with what Paul just said. Nobody wants to crash anybody else's reunion, and that's what it would feel like if there's names on it.
Okay. I want to go back. My screen is showing or not? Did it disappear?
No, it is not.
Okay, let me. Okay, how about now?
No.
I got to share it.
Okay, now it started.
Okay. This is from the Turtle Mountain Star, Rolla, North Dakota, July 15th, 1776. Pioneer family reunion held at Peace Garden. That was one activity. This is how it was perceived generally, but if we look at the souvenir booklet, it shows it's titled Souvenir Booklet, Reunion of Descendants of Selected Norwegian Immigrants Who Settled north of Rolette, North Dakota between 1885 and 1905. And it lists the contributors here. That put it together, and for one, I have a debt of gratitude to them. It was quite something, and I'm glad to follow. We're following in the footsteps. But the point, I think, to address the point that you made, Carolyn, is that here's the souvenir booklet. It's agnostic. Now, granted, the booklet does contain information on families, but the souvenir booklet title page doesn't mention the families. And the fact that it was covered in the press is another data point. The so-called blue book that Paul put together is a genealogical book. And I thank Paul for spearheading putting that together. I've got a copy and I've got numerous pages dog-eared. But that's a genealogical exercise as opposed to the reunion, which the book is selected a couple of families. The reunion, I feel, should be broader, and that's why I brought the motion forward.
Well, in light of, yes, the souvenir booklet does say that, but the name tag, and I am looking for a photo of it. I have a photo of my mom's name tag, and it says Bakken, Gilgi, Tosted Reunion.
Okay.
So not everything was, didn't have the names of the families on there.
Okay.
Can I make a point here, Jeff?
Sure.
Take my
Yeah.
little time. Yeah, I think we could see that that we referred to this thing both at the time, with the tag that,
I'll let you hear his voice when he talks.
can you hear me now? Everybody
Yeah, we can
me?
hear you,
Yes.
Bernie.
Okay.
Can I ask people to mute if they're not talking? That'll cut down the interference.
Cemetery.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just by that article you showed, and then Carolyn had two different versions of the name there. Gilgy tossed out at first, and then the thing she just mentioned. I know at that, of course, the thing is, the majority of people who were at that reunion are gone.
Terrible.
And now we've got a few. Paul is probably most senior as far as maybe the age of the people who were there in 1976. And of course, he's borne the brunt of all the groundwork for this information we have on our families. But when I first became aware of my relation to this group, really in about 5 years ago, through a letter I received from Paul, just reaching out to me as a stranger, but identifying himself and identifying our connection through his grandmother and my great grandmother, who was neither a Gilgy or a Tostad, but was a Overstadter or something. And then when I was always told when I think it was Josh, I guess, you set up the website, I think, right, Josh, early on, like a few years ago. And we always just referred to it colloquially as the Rolette Reunion 2026. And then the idea of this statue or monument came about that you're all aware of, that's going to be placed there at that cemetery. And I don't know if that one is going to say pioneer families, but somehow the notion, of course, pioneer families is kind of generic.
Bernie Harlitson.
Yeah, can I ask people who aren't addressing the group to please mute their mics?
So anyway, that's the name that it's just been kind of the working name. And I think because of the different families involved and the comments that have already been raised, the Pioneer Family Reunion just seems to be, it seems to work. It's inclusive. I wasn't aware about, Carolyn mentioned something that's maybe news to me, that apparently people from the community just generally are invited. I could see that might be spreading it out if that's true a little more. But anyway, just in summary, I support that name because I think it's inclusive and it summarizes what we're doing. That's it.
Okay, we're at the bottom of the hour. Are there any other comments?
Yeah, I wanted to say something too. So I am supportive of still keeping the reunion tied to our heritage somehow. That there is a lot of ancestry, a lot of the documents that were produced out of the reunion in 1976 also included a lot of heritage. The souvenir booklet even says selected Norwegian immigrants who settled North Dakota. So there is a very strong emphasis on we are all coming together and we are bound in some way by our heritage. And I think that still needs to be expressed by just saying Rolette Pioneer. It does open it up, but I think it makes it too broad and too vague. And we lose all sense of this is a family reunion.
Okay, any other comments?
Paul Gilsey here. With due respect, I can't help but ask the question, how would I feel if my name is not one of the last names and I feel now that I am not welcome? Seems to me that's the linchpin in the whole thing, is that if we zero in on 3 names out of 40, we are, or more than that, we are by implication denying, and we've got to have good attendance. If we don't have good attendance, there's not no loss happen. So I just feel that we've got to have a session that makes you feel welcome to attend. And I think I've already seen some evidence of that being changed if the name was changed to include names. I think it's the issue of putting names in the title.
We,
If I could
In
have a
response to that,
counterpoint.
Paul, in response to that, Paul, I would just like to mention that my grandfather's name is not on there, but I am connected to the Gilgee branch, and that's what connects me to this family reunion.
That's
That's
exactly
wonderful.
what I was going to say too. I'm a Martinetti.
That's
My
wonderful.
mom is an
What about
Antonsen.
excluding somebody? That's my problem. I don't mind. I'm happy that we're all united. And I feel united with everybody, including you. But I think the question is, people who don't see their name now, what Burwood? I wonder if Burwoods, are we part of this? Is this some new reunion? Rolette Reunion 2026 has been the website thing. Now we've got this new one that and it has a bunch of names in it. Bakken, Gilgee, Tosted, is that, where does that come from? So it seems
That's
to
why
me
that's why we have put that paragraph on the website inviting everybody. And that paragraph is very, very extensive, saying that everybody is invited. This is not exclusively for these families listed. Josh is a Martinetti. His name isn't on there, and he feels very, very included.
And also about the website, the URL might be Rolette Reunion, but Gilgee Tosted Family Reunion appears many, many times on the website.
yeah, that says it's current. That's the issue though, Josh.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm saying even though it is Rolette, it is currently.
You know, I would like to add a couple things. You know, I feel like thus far, my understanding of our presentations over the last year and a half and everything has been focused on really celebrating the pioneer families of Rolette and how they contributed and worked together as a community to create Rolette as it is. And we focused a lot on how this is an example of Norwegians coming together and things like that. And I would love to see the pioneer family name represented here, and that we would all come together behind that as well, just as they did in the beginning.
Well, by using the Rolette name in there, it excludes my grandfather's side of the family, as he was in Dunn County and his brother was in Mercer County. So that name is still not inclusive of everything.
It is the central theme, though, the central point. Majority of the families were from Rolette. We call it North Dakota Family Reunion.
Yeah, that's too wide.
Too broad.
What about descendants of the Gilgee, Bach, and Tosted families? Descendants would connect it with all the others that have come after them.
Well, many others are not.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Okay.
I don't think we need to have family names in there at all. I mean, the Bakkens settled there 1885. They were one of the earliest ones. I don't feel like, gee, the name Bakken has to be in there. The people that are attending this are primarily a community of people that have been connected here over the last, what is it, almost 2 years since we started these seminars. And you're included by whether you feel included or not by what your name is. You know your history. And I think to me, when Paul makes a point and has a preference, to me, that's worth 10 votes because of the recognizing who he is to this whole process.
iPhone 3. Okay, any other discussion? Okay,
The only point that I'll make, it's Jordan. The only point that I'll make is that it feels like we're just being trying to be inclusive in different ways, and so it's excluding certain parties. So I think I'm not sure if we need to discuss further, or I guess we can take a vote and see how split it is, or if it's pretty unanimous.
Could I ask you, Jordan, who's being excluded, or whoever was speaking, who's being excluded?
Well, anyone that's not in Rolette, right? By Rolette Pioneers.
Rolette County, I guess.
Yeah.
Botano's right nearby. I don't know. I think we're straining at a gnat here.
Well, I think we were before the rename, but yeah, that's kind of my point, is that we're trading one thing for another and not really solving the core issue.
Okay.
I have just a quick question too.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So when we started this reunion, this planning, I wasn't in on the planning right from the beginning. So it sounds like there are other families in the Rolette area that are participating. Is that correct? Okay. So how did we start from the beginning instead of like just continuing with the reunion as it was, with the reunion set up with the names as it was 50 years ago? How did that, what changed there? Because it was that family reunion, and it's not to exclude other people. Other people are obviously welcome, and that's good. But how did it get started that it was the whole Rolette area? Because there are other people that are not Norwegian there as well. So how did that get started?
Well, the souvenir booklet from '76 is generic on its title page, and clearly it includes information on various families. But we have that data point. Carolyn, you point out a name badge had family names on it. So it's a mix, Joyce, and I think the decision to be made now is we want this reunion to be a success. We're all putting in time to do this. I think in order to attract people to it, I have concerns that we won't get many people to sign up. Along those lines were Josh and Brian Griffith, who's my nephew. Brian's going to contact, for instance, NPR in North Dakota and tell them about the reunion. I think that it would make a much more credible story if we can, well, let me put it this way, make it much more or less parochial if we had a generic name than otherwise. Not a big point, but it's something that could boost the attendance at the reunion. So I think I'm in favor of it. We all have discussed back and forth. I think we've come to a point where we need to individually make up our own minds. And I've got 3 people who aren't present, but who have indicated their choices. I'll put that at the end, but I think we're at a point, well, Martha's just joined us, as to what we want to do, and then let's carry forward from there. Okay. We went twice Robert's Rules of Order time, but that's the way these things go. I know.
Well, I'm just, Jeff, you mentioned you're going to try to run this kind of along Robert's Rules of Order. So there is a motion. It's been seconded. I think unless there's further discussion, we should vote on the motion. And if it passes, we're done. If it doesn't pass, then someone can make another motion, and we'll spend the whole meeting.
Correct. That's
figuring out the name.
So let's, in the interest of time.
Can I insert here? I would like to make an amendment to the motion.
Okay, go ahead, Karen. Joyce.
Okay, so I feel that the original family names are very important, and I don't think they exclude people, because even when we sent out the information, like several people that were on this planning committee sent out and made emails and contacts with people related to these families. Is that correct?
I'm
Yes.
not quite sure what you're referring to.
So when you wanted email addresses so that information could be sent out, maybe about donating money or about the planning.
Oh yeah, we elicited far, and including non Gilgy Tosted family members.
Okay,
The
so
Beavers,
that's
for instance.
kind of why I was asking where we started from at the beginning, because my understanding was that it went to the descendants of these three families. So, okay, so now I have a little more
Yeah,
information.
I think it's. I think what we're indicating it's broader than that, and I'll be the first to say that the legacy is the legacy. I mean, with respect to this organization of this thing, we've got a motion now with the naming. It's become an issue, and I think we should vote on it, and then either move forward with that if it carries, or figure out what we're going to do if it doesn't.
I feel that the original names should remain as the title of the reunion for specific reasons that have been stated. So I move to amend the motion by striking Rolette Pioneer Families and inserting Bakken Gilgy Tosted Family.
That's another motion. Let's do the.
Yeah,
That's another motion. That's a different title.
That's
Let's
an
vote
amendment.
on the title now. If it carries, we go forward. If it doesn't carry, then you can make that motion, Joyce.
That's an amendment to the motion. That's just taking some words out and putting different ones in.
It's a different.
You have to vote on the amendment.
Okay. Would somebody care to record the votes?
I second the amendment.
The
Zoom allows for the host to
in
conduct.
Robert's Rules of Order, there's one motion at a time. I mean, there's one motion at a time.
And you can amend it 2 times. You can amend it to the 2nd degree.
Okay, I'll move that.
I think
we
I
go back to the original.
Yeah, I think Joyce is, if we're going by Robert's rules, I think she's correct.
Okay.
It's just that it's an unusual amendment because she's basically changing. It's almost another motion, but I don't know if we're down to the particulars of Robert's Rules of Order.
This is a volunteer organization. This
Yeah,
is
it's like
getting way too rough. But Joyce, it's just the obverse of the motion. We can vote on it. If it carries, it carries. If it doesn't carry, then we go back to the original and vote on it. Is that the process?
Yes, you vote on the amendment, and if it passes or fails, depends on what the original motion will be.
I'm sorry, if it passes or fails, then what?
If it passes, then it becomes a part of the motion. If it fails, then it goes back to the original motion.
Okay.
So you could
I'm okay with that.
You could create a second motion that repeals the first motion. I mean, is there,
Yeah,
are we
we
going
can do
down
that. I'll tell you what, let's will you put in the chat what the your proposed amendment is?
Yes.
So, I agree with Randall. It seems very circular and confusing. And it's simply a matter of making a second amendment to take it back to the original motion.
Yeah.
It's a bit redundant.
Okay, does somebody want to move that?
Sure, I'll second that.
Okay. So we're back to the original motion. Okay. Everybody on board with that? We're back to the original motion and we're going to vote on it. Does somebody care to act as recorder? Gosh.
Are you gonna do a voice?
I think we'll raise hands because otherwise, Well, I guess for those with iPhones, we'll have to have, I think it'd be appropriate to have people's names. Yeah, maybe we should do it by, I'll call people's names out, but if somebody can record these, I'd appreciate it.
I can record. I can record.
Okay, thank you, Carla. Okay, let's, I'll start from my lower right. I've got an iPhone.
Jeff,
Somebody
will you
name-
please restate the motion so everybody knows what they're voting on?
Sure. The motion is to entitle the reunion Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026.
Thank you.
This is Karen Hook on the iPhone, and I vote no.
Okay, Jordan Martinetti.
I would vote no.
Okay. And I've got another one, iPhone, between Jordan and Lori.
iPhone no.
Well, can you state who you are, please?
Yeah, I thought I had it on there. This is Ruben Tosted.
Okay. Okay, and we've got one more iPhone. Okay. Okay, Lori. Lori? Calling Lori?
She's muted.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
Martha?
Mike. This is Mike. That's my sister. I'll call her quick if you can come back to her.
Okay. Martha Murphy?
I voted earlier, though.
Okay, well, go ahead and state it for the record.
You know, at this point, I can't remember where we are because I just came in.
You said in your email, you voted for the Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026. So that's
I'm going to stay with that because I don't really know what happened in between. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. All right. Peter Brandt? Peter Brandt? Okay. Frederica? You're muted, Frederica. Still muted.
His sister.
Paul, can you unmute people since this is your Zoom?
Yeah, I can. Let me check here.
Can you unmute Frederica?
Frederica's muted.
Got it. There you go.
Okay.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Go ahead. We hear you
I
now.
vote no. I vote
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Inga?
I vote yes.
Okay. Josh?
I vote no.
Okay. Bernie?
Yes.
Okay. Carla?
Yes.
Michael Beaver?
This is Michael Beaver. I vote yes.
Okay.
And feel very strongly about it. And if you call upon my sister Lori, she'll.
Yeah, your sister's on. Okay. Well, we'll go back to Lori. Lori?
Yes.
Okay. Christina? Christina.
Yes.
Randy Lee?
Yes.
Okay. Joyce?
No.
Carolyn?
No.
Michael?
Yes.
Paul? Paul Guild?
I so wanted to have a reunion that would be as good, filled with goodwill, and to have any kind of strong views here now about the very thing of wanting to encourage people to come and not have anything. I am so sick at this moment, I can hardly stand it. And I don't know what in the world is going to happen as a result of simply the act today. I love Carolyn, I love Jordan, I love Joyce. And all of a sudden we've got, I must say, I know that that people were lined up today just to come for this. I vote yes, but I'm just sick, no matter what happens today. And I can't figure out what was the major move to have such confrontation over something that we know was done openly in 1976. We know we had everybody welcome. We welcomed everybody. In fact, that's why the Beavers are here today, is because of what that happened. I just am sick. I vote yes.
Okay, I'll vote yes. And Joe Martinetti voted no, and Wanda Hine voted no.
It's George.
I had such hopes for 2026.
Has everybody voted who's present?
Yeah,
here?
everybody's voted. Well, we've got one iPhone that, well, actually, let me go back.
Peter Brandt has not voted.
Peter, are you on? And there's one
He's
iPhone.
listed as
He's muted.
Yeah, he's muted. And there's one iPhone we didn't get. I've got 3 iPhones. We heard from 2 of them. Peter?
Yeah, I vote the same as Paul.
Jane too.
Oh, so Peter and Peter Brandt and Jane Brandt?
Jane Euthus.
Okay. Did you get that, Carla?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have one more iPhone. Okay, I think,
Sibel Lee also votes yes.
I'm sorry?
Sibel Lee also votes yes. I've also been on the committee.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Spell your name for me. Sibel?
Cybele.
Thank you. E-E-L-E.
okay. Is there anybody who is listening whose vote hasn't been recorded?
It's his son.
Pardon? Okay, we'll close voting. Carla, have you been able to tally it?
I will right now. We have 9 no's and the rest are yeses.
Can you give the numbers? Because
Yep, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 13, yes.
Okay, the motion carries. Okay. So we'll name it Rolette Pioneer Family Reunion 2026. And on the website, we'll have a listing of families. We can list as many families as we like. Okay. That was tough. Things among family. I know I grew up in a large family, 8 kids. We agreed on little, but sometimes we came together. And so I'm glad we got past this. What I'd like to do is go over the registration again. Josh, if you can pull that up. And
Yeah, give me just a second here.
This isn't easy, folks, so I appreciate everybody's participation and goodwill.
If I can make a comment, thank you, Jeffrey, for organizing that vote. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all that you've done over the past year and a half, and
it's Paul.
This wouldn't be
Paul.
happening without Paul.
Exactly.
And as far as
Paul is the man of the hour.
That's what I'm saying, Paul. I appreciate so much what you've done the past year and a half and the commitment that you've made, and I can sense your strong feeling about it, and I absolutely concur and support you on that.
Yeah. As do I. And as far as the technical things now, that's Jeff and Josh. So there's other heroes here too.
Okay. I think one issue I'd like to describe while Josh is pulling it up is, well, Carl, I'll ask you, I remember we had a discussion earlier about the possibility of having tents at the Peace Garden. Can you discuss, because that represents an expense. I'm trying to come up with a budget for all this, and it drives some of the cost structure in the registration. But the criteria for a tent or what the tent situation would be like, how much time would we have to give notice, and that sort of thing. Can you textualize it?
Yeah, I think as soon as we have numbers in mind, we can let them know. Or I mean, I don't think they need a whole lot of lead time in order to have the tents for us. But you know, certainly we'll need to have our numbers nailed down, you know, well enough in advance.
We couldn't consider it a weather contingency. We couldn't look at 3-day forecast and say it's going to rain. Oh, we're going to need a tent, or we have to plan this a number of weeks in advance, I would assume.
I can find out about that, but I think
I can't imagine it'd be different, but.
No, I mean, I think the plan is that, you know, as many people, we can accommodate about 200 people indoors.
Okay.
And, you know, if we go beyond that, then we would talk to them about, you know, using one of the tents, or I think they have 2.
Okay. And were there pavilions there that we were renting? Are there already areas with cover, or is it all open space? It's been too many years since I've been up there.
The building is it's called the pavilion, but it is an enclosed building.
Okay. So would we base out of there? Is that what we're renting? Is that the facility we're renting essentially?
Yes.
Okay. And how many people does that hold? Do you know?
200. I think 100.
So,
yeah, there's an upper level and a lower level. They figure about 100 people on each level.
Okay. So if that holds 200, I don't know. I guess if this thing balloons, then we can make the decision. I guess we can make it in spring. It sounds like if there's inclement weather, people could go indoors. That's if we're 200 or so.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And do you remember the cost for the tents?
No, we have not been quoted a cost yet. They were just getting them, so I can inquire about that as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be worthwhile. The reason I bring it up is, and I've discussed this with a few that are on the call here, is if we should have I think it's probably to cover things like the tent and traffic control and other miscellaneous expenses. We'll have speaker stand, that sort of thing. That will have a general admission fee. But I'd like to make this not too expensive so that families can attend. And the way, well, I'd like to discuss with the group, see what we should do. One is we can have for the first person, at least the way it's in the pro forma registration now, $50 for the first person and $25 a person for the next 3, and then $15 a person thereafter. Something like that would give us enough funding that if we have to buy tent or if we have to rent tents, we can afford it. And I'm trying to, as well, we'd like to get the registration form perfected by the end of the year so we can go live in January. And that's why I'm trying to concentrate on getting some of these costs. But a fee structure for admission that covers these sorts of things. How does it sound? Something like $50, $25, and $15. Christina and I computed it. She's got a family of 4, and all told, and it'd run in about 300. You know, if they fill out the registration form, including meals, it'd run about $350, which for 3 days for a family of 4 doesn't strike me as too unreasonable. But I don't want to be too pricey, I guess, and that's what I want to discuss with the group.
Sounds very good, Jeff. Very good.
I think it's very appropriate.
Okay. It actually wasn't my idea. It was, I think, Christina and Inga's. But Inga, I don't know if you're still on. Anyway,
Yes.
anybody see any difficulty with a pricing structure like that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it one more time, just so we all are
Does
aware?
anybody see any difficulty with a pricing structure of $50 for the first person, $25 for the next three people, and $15 for anybody else? In one, we're going to sign up by, I guess, head of family or one person of family, and they'll register for one person, two person, three persons, or how many persons there are. So with that structure, it doesn't get too expensive for people.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
And now this is just
Yeah.
to be clear, this is
Well, hold on
is
one at a time, please. Bernie, go ahead.
this is basically, and this is like an admission to the event.
This is an admission to event to cover the tent, things we need for the hall, just miscellaneous costs. Christina and Inga are going to have relay games and stuff. They have to buy some things for it.
Right.
The expenses are going to be modest. And I've been involved in a few things like this, and my philosophy is not to make money, it's to cover your costs. And that's where I'm headed with it.
And the food is separate, correct?
The food is separate. We'll go over the registration form here in a minute, but the food would be separate. Okay. So it sounds like we'll do that. Okay. Paul, you had a question or a comment?
Oh, no, in fact, it was answered.
Okay.
I was.
All right.
The same
Josh,
question.
if you've got it available, we can go over it.
Yes. I think we're good now. You can see the website.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Josh has been he's done the yeoman's work here on putting this together, but Josh and Brian Griffith and I have looked at it, as of Paul and Bernie. But this is the landing page. Given the motion, we'll change the title, but barring that, the event dates, it lists, I don't know, can I control the, Paul, is it possible to give me control of a cursor on this, on Zoom?
Oh, I might be able to.
Say that once again. You asked me a question?
I'm trying to get, I'm good, I think. Yeah, good. Okay, here we've got the event dates. And is this live, Josh?
That is currently broken, but
okay.
We can take a look at that page later.
Well, we have the information. It's on a spreadsheet currently, but this link will show a detailed schedule. It'll have all the addresses and all the particulars for the events. This just provides an overview of what the events are at a higher level. Then information on the lodging, talks about Skydancer Casino with a link. And Bernie, maybe you can update on where things stand with the reservations at Skydancer. You checked into that? Bernie, your mic is dead.
Okay, and my last, no, I haven't checked since we last spoke about this, 10 days ago.
Yeah.
We had at that time 35 rooms. We have a total apparently of 52 rooms that are unbooked by other parties. So we've got, as of that date, 35. So most of the bulk of the rooms have been reserved. So what's 52 minus 35? That's how
17 left. Okay.
We're left.
Bernie, do you know, is it possible to increase that 52?
I don't think so. I asked about that because there's another event there. Remember we wanted to have the dinner on one of the nights I think both Friday and Saturday nights were booked. We were hoping to have the dinner there, and we decided we're gonna have it catered, didn't we, at the
Okay.
memorial
So if we
hall
were
or
to
something. So
help-
I don't, as of then, there were no more available.
And so therefore, we need to, I assume, mention that there are motels available in Dunseith, Botno, Rugby, Rolla that were within 20 miles or something of the place, so that they'll know that there are other options besides the casino.
Yeah.
We do have a note of that on our location and lodging section here.
Yeah, right
Okay.
here. I just highlighted it on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, let's go to registration and fees. So, whoops.
Just a minor point there, Jeff, is that as far as the hotel goes, we did this, it was over a year, I guess I think it was a year ago, September, or was it this September? Like, been
Well,
doing it so
whenever.
long.
It's
I
in the
think it was a
past,
year
yeah.
ago. Anyway, as far as the hotel goes, it's Rolette Reunion 2026 is what they have it as.
Thank you. I was actually going to ask that because I wasn't sure if that mention was correct. So I'll update that.
I might call them and see if they can change the name, but I hate to do that because I don't want to lose something.
I think it's close enough that
Yeah.
you don't want to stir the hornet.
Rolette Reunion 2026, as far as the hotel goes.
Okay. I have a note to update that. Thank you.
Okay, here's where our registration fees are. This was an earlier version, but I think we'll go with the pricing model I described. 50 for the first person, 25 for the next 3 persons, and then $15 thereafter. Okay. Then we talk about the International Peace Garden site, the fact that there's an extra fee and link to their website. Oops. And then thank you donors. We'll have a link to the current list of donors.
And that's live. So
it is
if
live.
that, yep. So that'll provide the download.
There we go. And here shows the, let's put this in alphabetical order. Is it in alphabetical order by people? I don't want my name at the top.
I'm not sure. It's, I just grabbed it from the OneDrive.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
whoever's in charge of that would have to alphabetize it.
Okay. All right. So that's there. And then we get down to the registration. You want to go ahead and populate this, Josh, and let's make it for a family of 4.
Sure.
Hey, Josh, I think on that previous page that needs to be updated yet.
Sorry, which page?
The previous page of the donors.
Okay. Let's see, that might be possible. I'm not sure what the status is of the donor list in OneDrive, but it was a document shared with me, so I can see if we can get this updated.
Maybe it's cut off. Yeah, it could be that.
Oh, yep. Sorry, there was a second page.
Just a thought here, Josh, or others. Would it be good to add a link that in case a person wants to make a donation?
Yeah.
Donations are welcome. I'm considering making another one.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Josh, can you put that in?
Good job, Bernie.
Yeah. Yep, I can add that. That would work perfectly in this thank you donors section. So it's a good comment.
All right. You've done this so many times, it pulls up.
I know. It knows. It knows me. So one thing to mention, the the pricing calculation won't be exact on the next page yet. Okay, just
it's
making
close
sure.
enough, I think,
Yeah,
for what we're trying to do. So,
Gotcha.
okay, and then we'll have meals for various. Carla, you're checking in with the caterer. This is the information we're carrying forward: vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free. I don't know. That's another thing to ask.
Curious why the breakout of the ages 64, 65.
For the we wanted to know the ages for the kids' games, and I guess it's also a relic of a prior version of the pricing structure. But
Because those of us who are in the upper end of the spectrum, how does that change?
how does what change?
Why are we describing whether you're 64 or 65 plus?
Okay, we want to go 18 plus.
Yeah, we could do 18 plus. There wasn't, it was just, yeah, some breaks in the age range groups. So yeah, we could update that just to 18 plus.
I think just for
that's fine.
The record, this is not this version of it. It's a beta. These comments are really good. We just did what we did so we could get the thing to work. So these comments are helpful. But if you see things that need to be changed, please speak up.
This is outstanding work, by the way, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, then we're done with that page, I think. And then memorabilia and displays. Frederica, we put this in, and we've got the family names and collect information. This is what you wanted, correct?
I think so. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. When you say your name and then family name, is that the Pioneer family name, or what connection are we trying to make there?
Well, we want to know which Pioneer family you're associated with.
Okay.
Your name is the individual's name.
Right. Understandable. I just wondered the connection with.
Maybe we should reverse that. We did on the first page, and I don't know, Josh. I think we discussed it before. Can we make it so when people populate the registration form that their family name comes forward?
Yeah, that was something that I looked into. It would take a little extra work. In my mind, it's a lower priority thing than some of these other changes. So
I think it works the way it is. I think Frederica raises a good point. If you put your name and then the Pioneer family name second, I think people registering it it'll make more sense to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeff, I'm just thinking there needs to be some signage there at each of the displays. So do we put both names or just the family name or whatever?
It's a good question. That's really a decision, I think, Frederica, that you should make.
Okay.
We could put both. With this information, we'll go into our registration forms, and we should have, in well in advance of the meeting of the reunion, this information so that we can parse it and figure out what we need to do. To perfect it.
It might be nice if there was a place on there where a person could click on their Pioneer family name and see who else is registered.
Well, I think
maybe
Josh
that's too complex.
I don't want to make this too difficult for
Well,
Josh.
if it's too complex, just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could happen. We could have a static list. So we do have a family branch here that we're trying to.
Yeah, there you go. And we will up. This is just a straw man list. This was not meant to be definitive. We'll perfect this in the ensuing weeks. So when we get it published in January, we'll probably have a more extensive list that's based on the donor list and other lists that we have.
Yeah.
And so we could do the same thing with the this Pioneer name too. We could pull from that same list.
Mhm. Yeah. It's a pull down.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Okay, active interest survey. We wanted here to get information on no fee activities that are part of the reunion. This again are things that would be covered by the general admission, but people can check this and then populate the stuff below. Christina, we changed the family activities here. So I think we're in good shape there. I don't think there's any activities that aren't listed. Okay, let's continue to payment. Okay.
And so our admission here will be calculated automatically. It isn't updated to the model that we just decided on.
Okay.
It's also read only, so nobody can modify these values. They'll be required and they'll be calculated based off of how many people are attending in this registration. Okay,
and then going down to the entertainment and dinner, it's $35. Is Carla, this will change depending on what your discussions with the caterer are, but that's been the indication so far. And then this is the age, broken down by the age. $35 if you thought to give a break to younger, to kids. And then on the Peace Garden, we just put in $20 for a box lunch. We'll find out from the caterer what kind of cost will be there. Saturday evening dinner, Paul, that's going to be, that's covered. It's going to be covered by the Hearns, right? Did we lose Paul? That's my Paul?
Yeah.
The Saturday evening dinner, that is going to be covered. There's no charge for that.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So we'll be taking that off. I think, Josh, we can put Saturday evening dinner either covered or free.
Okay.
I think the word dinner is, it's okay to use the.
Oh, you want refreshments?
Yeah, because that would, think of yourself going to a funeral and going to dinner after a funeral. That's the kind of stuff. They're going to have veggies and meats and goodies and the kind of stuff. I don't want to just say finger food. There'll be plenty for all of us to eat that night, but I just think whether the word dinner fits or not, but if you want to leave it,
dinner,
it's
maybe
okay with me.
Just put refreshments then, if you would, Josh.
Yep.
And I think it's worthwhile knowing the ages that will inform the caterer. What do you think, Carla?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Okay. And then lastly, we got the golf tournament. So Josh, why don't you go ahead and populate, I think we had 4 people. Go ahead and populate the things. Yeah, okay. So we're at a total of 265, and this is for a family of 4. So I think our price point, actually, with that Saturday dinner being covered, is probably in the high 200s, which strikes me as reasonable.
This so it isn't. Yeah, we'll have to account for the admission too here in this total because it isn't fully filled out. But
okay, so it didn't cover the admission, the full admission.
Right. It just has 2 people, so we'd need to add another $50 to that, I think.
Okay, so we're around $300, which strikes me as reasonable, and that's what we tried to make it. Okay, then we go to pay now. And it shows what you've got, what you've ordered. And then credit card information, then you pay. And then it goes into our account through Stripe, and it gets pushed to our account. So it should be pretty painless.
Yes. And I think for payment options, we've just decided on card payments.
Yeah.
The way that this is working is we're charged a 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. So we would be building that into the prices, and that way the reunion doesn't incur any fees related to the payment processing, and whoever's filling this out doesn't see, oh, it said 265, but there's additional fees. So everything's just already rolled into that price, so they know what to expect.
Another reason to have an admission fee.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
so
we can hit pay.
That's the long and short of it, correct?
Yeah, and then we just have a page here to give your registration details. Just a brief reminder of what you signed up for, letting them know that they'll get their payment receipt. And then just some reminders about the ID needed for the International Peace Garden visit, lodging, and just some general information.
Okay. Okay, that's it. We covered, let me pull up my spreadsheet here a second. Yeah.
Could I ask a quick question?
Sure.
For anybody who's familiar with the Peace Garden, Inga and I are setting up activities for kids, or, you know, really anybody who's interested. And I'm just wondering, and I guess it depends on if we get tents, but what is the space like? Do you think this will probably be outdoors? I was sort of thinking outdoor games, but it sounds like part of this could be indoor. So, are there picnic tables, for instance, around the Peace Garden? Just to get an idea of how to set up.
Carla, can you answer that best?
No, I can't. I have not been to the Peace Garden for years, and I really don't know what the grounds look like, but I can ask about that as well. When I
If
inquire
you're
about
able to, if you're
Mhm.
having a chat with them, that would be good information to know. And I guess depending on how many people are there, I was sort of thinking we'd be doing the games outdoors, but of course, if there's weather, or if there's, you know, so just all that information will be germane to the activities.
Okay.
Carla, you could reach out to Brian Beaver. He's a border guard up there. He probably has a pretty good idea.
Yeah, well, I'm in contact with the people who who oversee activities at the Peace Garden.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been going a long time here, and I'd like to end this meeting here shortly, but
Jeff, could I just quickly ask a question? Do we have a date for submitting the registration? Was that on it at some point? You know,
a date. Well, we hope to go live in January.
Right, but on the form, do we have the date for submitting? Please submit by such and such a date. I'm not sure that
I think a part of that will be in discussion with the caterer, how much advance they need, and how accommodating are they of changes.
Right, but just so that on the form, there's a place for that date for people to know.
That's good. I think we should do that. Generally, in my experience with working with this sort of thing, we like to close it down a week or 10 days beforehand, and so that we can internally act on all the information.
At
Sort of
least.
freeze it, but we will have people that, you know how it is, it always blossoms at the end, and there are people who, for whatever reason, want to sign up at the end. That does bring up a point. We probably can have on-site registration. Is there a volunteer that could do on-site registration on the Friday? I guess we're open up on Thursday. Start putting things in, but on Thursday and into Friday.
I had lunch with Brenda Gilgy today, and she said that she would be willing to handle registration on site.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll add that. Okay. Okay. All right. Should we mention the sculpture on the website on the registration form?
Just explain that it's going on and people can make contributions.
Yeah.
To me, that makes sense.
All right, Josh, can you make a note to that effect? We'll put it near the donor page.
Yeah.
And maybe we can link to the image of it.
Yeah.
I think I would need that image. I don't know that I have one.
Okay.
We can provide that.
Either get the one that we started with or find if there's a more current one.
Okay.
Okay, then the only other issue is translation. When we were in Norway, our relatives were extremely accommodating, and they translated especially at a dinner that we had near Gilja. And the question is, should we have a translator? And I know, Paul, you reached out to Bjorn. He, I think,
I think he will do what we would like, which is to be available for stuff, but we wouldn't have necessarily plan to have like they have a deaf thing sometimes. It doesn't seem to me that would be necessary, but to have Bjorn available to offer translation if he senses that something needs to be said.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think that will work. To be honest, most of our cousins speak English, so but
Google Translate works.
The wonderful thing about that is we are acknowledging that we have got Norway folk, and they may be many more than we even expect. So that's why I like you have that. Are we about to quit? I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I think that's it. We've gone a long time. Unless anybody else has any salient issues, I'd like to go ahead and close the meeting.
Josh, I noticed you got guitars back there. If you're interested in the Rolette family band, let me know.
They're almost decoration at this point, but I remember some.
Jeff, thanks everybody.
Well, thanks to everybody. This was a tough meeting. I think we accomplished a lot, and I thank everybody. Thank you for your participation.
Good job. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for your
Have a good weekend.
We'll see you next month.
Thanks for your leadership.